change the thumbnail, but I'll fix it in post. Whoops. That's fine. That's fine. I do have a thumbnail ready. I just forgot to swap it out when I was getting stream ready. Whoops. I will admit I am a little bit on the anxious side today. Not just because of how I've been feeling in my sinus regions, but... well, maybe I'll explain a little bit later. I could just open Google Chrome again and just change the thumbnail now, but it's not really worth it. Not right now. I'll change it after stream ends. Whoops. But with that, we're going. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dudunsparce returns. I brought out Robo Santa to help out this time. Because, well, we haven't seen Robo Santa in a bit. And I figure a nice fast Pokemon would be nice here. Let me see if I can remember the sandwich. Tomato, onion, green pepper, don't need hamburger. And then 2 tofus. And then we'll do a little mix and match. Why not? I did save, so I can just resave it and work. I should just be glad I put everything in the right playlist still. Oh well. Like I said, I'll fix it, don't worry. There we go. This one might be a bit more on the supposed chill side. It might be one of the shorter ones, too. Just because, like, I don't know how much I'm willing to put up with today, you know? Yeah, it does not help that I'm still got a little bit of a head cold. So, my sinuses are still very upset at me. Granted, it's not the worst thing in the world, because I remember back during, like, Sonic Frontiers, there was a time where I got sick, and I come back and I'm coughing like nuts because I'm just getting a bunch of drainage. At least it's not that. At least it's not that. Yeah, I promised Dudunsparce today. I'm going through with it. I'm just gonna try to relax some because I've been tense. Honestly, I've been really tense. And no, it has nothing to do with the fact that now we have shiny Koraidon Miraidon. You can get a code at GameStop, I think. They let you get the shiny for the opposite box legend. And of course, they just had to release it on the same day as they're doing a new TCG set. So, you know, scalpers are a big thing, and now they're going after Pokemon codes that won't even work in a month. So that's fun. I would have liked it more if it was something kind of like the Beads of Ruin, I guess, where you can get them by doing a million hero raids with them across the entire globe, and then everyone gets one. I would have liked it better if they did that method, because A, you have to earn it, and B, scalpers can't take that from you. And it's honestly kind of frustrating that it's like that. I don't know whose idea it was to do that, but welcome to Pokemon. We're just not allowed to have nice things, I guess. Often feels like that's kind of the case for a lot of stuff in the world, especially with the online age, but what are you gonna do? Sometimes I think there's nothing that can really be done about this sort of thing. It's such a widespread problem in the fact that Pokemon is such a big franchise. The biggest, if I'm not mistaken. It's a bit... It's a bit dumb, I'll say. I don't know what's up with that. Sometimes you just want to relax and play a game, even if the game does make you frustrated at certain aspects of it, and then you find out the entire world is turning upside down, and humanity can't trust itself yet again to do very basic things, and... I'm just doing this for a hobby. I'm not doing this for any sort of monetary goal. I'm just doing it because I want to have fun. And a lot of times the world's like, you want to have fun? I don't know about that. I don't know why people are so cruel sometimes when it comes to these things. They're alternate colors of fictional monsters. Let's face it, we'll probably be in Pokemon Go in like 3 years. Then everyone's gonna be able to get one, so... I don't know, timed exclusivity bullshit? It feels like it's mainly a problem with Pokemon. Like, scalpers have been a thing for a while, and Pokemon's far from the only thing you'd see scalpers get involved with. Any sort of rare video game is also in the same realm, it feels like. And that's why you never... that's why whenever I get stuff used, I never get it online. It's like, I'd rather just go to a thrift store, but you're not going to be able to go to a thrift store to get a code for a shiny Pokemon. You'd probably be able to for, like, Pokemon cards, but they're going to be, like, at least a decade old, so... those cards aren't going to be useful at all unless you're just trying to collect everything. In that case, why? How many cards are in Pokemon now? And it's basically impossible to have all of them. So I don't know. People are just like that, I guess. It's just how the world is. I feel like this whole issue with scalping in Pokemon's only gotten worse over the past few years. I don't know what happened. It's like at some point, like it's always been a problem, sure. But at some point in the last couple of years, it's become such a big issue. And I don't know what happened. I've talked about this before because this isn't the only time we've talked about, like, TCG scalping in one of these Dudunsparce streams, but... yeah, it's a bit rough. Hey, Vix. I forgot to change the thumbnail when setting everything up, so it's a little bit redundant right now. I'll fix it after stream. You may have noticed it's still a mega thumbnail. I had another thumbnail all ready to go, and I just forgot to swap it. Like a fool. So I'll admit I'm a little bit anxious at the moment, and there's a lot of factors going into that right now. I was just talking about how the shiny codes for Koraidon and Miraidon are now a thing at GameStop, and they're being scalped, because of course they are. So I'm not even going to try. Now, granted, I don't have a GameStop that's super close. Closest one I think is like a half hour away. But I've mentioned before, like with pre-order bonuses and everything, like not enough people really do that sort of thing here for it to, you know, be a big thing, I guess. So I've gotten pre-order bonuses for games I haven't pre-ordered because there's just a bunch of leftover stock. I have the sticker set for Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope because of that. That's supposed to be a pre-order bonus. And I'll tell you, that was not a pre-order. There's a lot of stock left at Walmart, I guess. But, even I'm not so sure that the GameStop closest to me would have codes. Because A, it's been most of a day. And B, like, it's Pokemon, it's a big deal. I live in a fairly small town. A local card shop, like, stocks up on Pokemon cards and gets, like, new stock every, like, Monday. And it's out within the day. It's crazy. That's why it feels like it's such a relief that me and my friend who's currently away at college got in the TCG Pocket when it came out, because that's given us our fix of, let's open Pokemon cards to see what we get, without having to worry about scalpers and hoarders being like, I'm gonna buy your entire stock and no one else gets to have any. And now the issue is spread to codes for shiny Pokemon, which are given out for free, by the way. Some GameStops, I think, are enacting like a minimum purchase thing to kind of maybe stop that, but their website blatantly says that it's a free thing, no purchase necessary, so they're going against what they say on their website. So now I'm just super conflicted about this whole thing. It was just not handled very well. I would have liked it a lot better if they would have done what they did with the Treasures of Ruin, where they show up in Terra raids, and maybe only the opposite version appears in your game, and then when all said and done, you get to claim them like a month later, if you've beaten over 1 million total across the world. Because that worked really well with these things. Though I will admit, I feel like participation should be required. The fact you didn't have to actually do any raids and you still got the thing if the threshold was crossed is kind of funny. It's like, they posted like the live, not the live count, but they posted the count of how many raids were done. And they were just like, it started off really strong, like 6 million, I think, for Tinglu. And then it dropped off so hard. Like, I think Chi-Yu, which I think is the goldfish one, I think that one ended at around 3 million. Because, like, you know, people were just like, well, I'm just gonna get it anyway. And even though I think that system's a lot better than the code system at GameStop. It's not even the first time they've done... They've done codes at GameStops before. Like, wasn't that how they gave out Shiny Solgaleo and Nala at first? Like, that was a GameStop thing. So this is nothing new. This is not a new system. It's just completely collapsed with the scalping scene. And I wish there was another way they could handle it. Especially because, like, they've given out legendaries and mythicals just on a whim via mystery gifts before. I like events and such, like the Petrarunt one in this game, where like you complete the main DLC and then you can claim this berry and it gives you like an extra story. And you get the mythical at the end. Or of course, like everyone talks about Celebi. That was like the first big event thing for everyone, I think. Like it was a big deal. But then you get stuff like Generation 8 where it's like, here's Zarude for free, here you go. And it's just like, where's the heart? But I prefer that method now to the GameStop thing because that has completely fallen apart. It's been an absolute shit show. I remember hooking up to the internet at McDonald's to get a Hoopa. There you go. Once again, a better system. Just go on the Wi-Fi, you get the thing. Within this certain period. And it's not like the games don't do this anymore. I will admit, they have been a bit more involved lately. Ooh, shiny. They've been a bit more involved lately, I will admit. I'm hoping that didn't mess anything up, because I just pressed That's the key to to increment the hotkey, and I don't know if it's shortcuts or anything on OBS by default, and I don't think I changed my shortcuts, so we'll hope to God nothing broke. That's one thing. But yeah, they've been getting a bit more involved because we've had like the Dynamax events, we've had this game with the Terra Raid events. I'm still bummed I missed out on Empoleon and Garchomp. I didn't even know Garchomp was out. I didn't even know Garchomp was like a thing. But I did get a trade for one, so I have one just sitting at home in case I don't do a rerun. I still have yet to get the Empoleon, but what are you gonna do? Maybe they'll rerun it, maybe they won't. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't, but like they've rerun a few of them before. At the very least, they've rerun Charizard, they've rerun the other Paradox Johto legendaries. Because, like, you can only get 2 of the set each in the different games. Walking Wake and Iron Leaves are raid exclusive, and they've been out, like, what, 3 times? I got them the first go, so I'm good, but... yeah, no, it's just kind of dumb. But I prefer little events like that to get them than the code thing now, because now that you made like a physical thing people have to get, the scalpers just ruin everything. And I'm not gonna say this is the best system that we currently have, but it's a better system. And I'm gonna say I prefer the system to what they're doing with the Mega Stones for the Gen 6 starters, where you have to play ranked. I'm not looking forward to that. I have to rush through to get good enough Pokemon to play in ranked just to get the Mega Stones for them. Because they say they'll be reissued. Who knows how long that'll take? I have 1 month to... I don't know if it's going to be as simple as just play a few rounds and you get the thing. Like in, like for Pokemon Go Battle Days. Like, I think you need to win like 5 times total. And it's like once a month, so the season always refreshes, so you can just start at the low level and just, you know, it's easy. But win 5 or just like do 10 in general, that's, you get the rewards. It's fairly simple. And of course, you can do stuff like raids to get the super effective attack thing in there. It's like, you know. We don't know how exactly it's going to work when it comes to ranked in ZA. And I hope to God it's not reach a certain rank, because that's going to block a lot of people out, especially because it's going to be basically locked to like tryhards and people who just grind endlessly and have nothing else better to do in their lives. And other type of people who make every single ranked mode in any game whatsoever a miserable experience. Well, them and hackers, but I feel like it's not as much of a problem here besides like, oh, I brought in a Pokemon that shouldn't exist. It's not like, oh, now they just use random moves and like, oh, I made your Pokemon instantly thanks. Like, it's not that extreme. Like, we don't really have an equivalent in Pokemon to, like, aimbots in, like, COD or TF2 or something. But still, it's going to be miserable getting those Mega Stones. And we don't know if they're just going to limit them to the Gen 6 starters. Because, like, we know there's going to be plenty in the game, because they revealed a bunch of legendaries, and we're getting... Not legendaries, a bunch of Megas, and we're getting Mega Stones in the game itself with the like, roaming Mega thing. Like, we know how that works. And then there's the DLC, which probably doubles the amount they're adding. Bunch of new Mega Stones, and people making predictions of what they could possibly be, and I don't think any of those were in the leaks. So that's going to be a surprise for both of us. I'm not getting that DLC immediately, you crazy? But it's a thing. It's a thing they're indeed doing. But I don't know how far they're going to take the ranked Mega Stone thing. Because it's just participate in a few battles and there's your Mega Stone. Kind of the equivalent to win the raid, catch the Pokemon. Like, fine enough, I guess. But if it's based on like a certain win streak or a win count or a rank thing, it's like, uh-oh, that could be a problem. Now, granted, if it is like get a like small number of wins, I'm thinking it's gonna end up like Go Battle Days, where it's like you bring in some fairly strong stuff, the rank will reset, so you're playing against like the low level stuff, so it's not hard to get to like just a few wins really, but it's still enough to where it's like for a mobile game, I'm not thrilled about it, but I kind of get it. Especially because Pokemon Go's online only. You're forced to be online to play that game at all times. With Legends ZA, it's different because your Switch may not have internet connectivity all the time, and you may not be able to get the thing. And at least with the marked Terra raids, the Mightiest Mark thing, it's just a little mark you're missing out on. You can effectively build the Pokemon itself in the game. But these Mega Stones are not obtainable otherwise, so it's going to be a bit of a... become the #1 top player in the world. Oh, God. Win a Pokemon Championships. What? What do you mean? What do you mean win a Pokemon Championships? No! Wolfie VGC is the only person to ever get these Mega Stones. Wow! I think that's his name anyway. I don't pay too much attention to the championship stuff because I'm just like, ugh. Like, some of you out there on the internet have probably watched me try to do competitive stuff on Violet, and it was just a miserable time. So, like, I don't want to get involved in that, and now I'm gonna have to if I want those Mega Pokemon. Ugh. And it becomes even worse, too, because you can only transfer Pokemon one way. Once they're in Legends ZA, they can't leave, so they have to be something you get. Either in ZA, or something you get from another game, and you can never bring them back. They get stuck. Which is so awkward. I don't know how to feel about that. It's like, people are just gonna bring in a lot of their teams from Violet, because they can just rebuild in Violet, fine. Scarlet and Violet, we can rebuild that no problem, because it's so easy to build things. And then they wipe everyone, because no one else is freaking ready. Because they're only using stuff from ZA, because they don't want to get all their Pokemon trapped. And they want to experiment with the Pokemon that weren't in Gen 9, because there's plenty of those going around. I don't know. It's not a great system. I understand why people are upset, so I'm just hoping it's not a super strenuous thing. I love it when Pokemon spawn on the walls. That's fun. So yeah, Pokemon, am I right? Still pretty excited for Legends ZA, but man, the Pokemon Company needs to rethink how to distribute things. So I understand wanting to make it kind of a big deal, but you gotta do a little bit of something to kind of fix things a little bit, because either it's just give everything out, or connect online in order to do a thing, or else you're screwed, or an in-person thing with scalpers involved that just hoard all the codes and sell them for $100 despite the fact that they're supposed to be free. It's hard to have fun playing video games sometimes. It's hard. It's also hard to have fun playing video games when, despite the fact that you've been active for over a decade, What's that? You haven't used a credit card to buy anything using YouTube? No memberships, no buying movies? And despite the fact you've been active for over a decade and you're in your mid-20s, you've been looking up a lot of stuff related to Nintendo games. I love AI. That's totally not a problem whatsoever. I've been one of the unlucky few. And I don't want to give anything to him. So when I say in the title, the end of Dudunsparce? The end of the Dudunsparce? Yeah, I don't know how long I have. Because my settings have been changed when I search things on the internet. And I'm not taking a selfie. It sucks, because apparently, like, it was supposedly this big deal. And then people stopped talking about it after, like, a week, because it's the internet, we move on. And it's crept back in. And apparently it's not happening to too many people, and I've just been unfortunate. So I don't know what else been affected. So, if suddenly one day all of this is gone, and I'm not streaming anymore on here, and there's just nothing left to the autistic game guy name, you probably know what happened. Mortal Kombat to get around it. I hate fighting games, dude. I hate fighting games, man. Like, I've already talked about Smash Bros, and that's a platform fighter. It's technically a different genre, but I haven't really had fun with the button basher either. I'll be honest. It is kind of a funny way of working around it, though, if it does work. Like, I've seen some funny workarounds, but I'm not willing to risk all that. I'm not willing to risk all that, you know? Plus, you never know when they're actually going to fix all that, because it's funny that you can do that sort of thing by using pictures from Gary's mod, but, like, how long is that going to work for? Doom Eternal. That's not my kind of game, either. I know a friend who's really into Doom, so, like, he's probably fine because he plays Doom Eternal. He plays Doom Eternal, he plays all the classic Dooms, it's his sort of thing. Not me. Not a big fan of shooters, either. I've played TF2 before, but even without streaming it, it runs like ass sometimes on this damn laptop. Which I guess I'm kind of used to, because, you know, I've played it on a Windows 8 laptop that has even less power than this thing. And it runs even worse. And I still played it fine enough to put in hundreds of hours in, like, high school. It's like, I can put up with it, but it's not going to make a fun stream. I think I tried streaming it back in my Twitch days, but that VOD is long gone. And it wasn't even that good of a stream either. So, like, it's not even worth keeping. So, honestly, you aren't missing much. But, yeah. The world of AI and verification because parents can't do their jobs and they just give their kids unrestricted access to the internet via iPads, and now the entire internet just sucks. I don't know how long I have left here. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. It's like I'm not paying for memberships. I'm not buying any movies digitally because I prefer physical. And even then, I'm not gonna do it via YouTube. Because, like, if I'm gonna buy a movie digitally, like, I have digital copies of movies that came with Blu-rays. That's going on Apple. That's going on Apple. It's on my iPhone. I'm not, like, I can watch Sonic 1 and 2 on my phone. Because, like, I got digital code and redeemed it for, I guess, the Apple TV app, I guess, where they all put that together. I'm not getting on YouTube as well. Are you crazy? You insane? No, I'm not doing that. So because I didn't do that, and because I searched up a lot of stuff about Nintendo games, both for walkthroughs and for getting thumbnails, well, it's the same kind of reason why there was a series of shorts I wanted to do, whereas like these are Pokemon that I think have really bad typings, like really stupid typings that make no sense. And like I want to do that, but then I see people like Shane and Catherine doing stuff like basically the equivalent of this in short form, and then YouTube being like, I don't think that's not made for the youngsters. Weird. It's like all Pokemon content made in shorts just gets sent to that for some reason. And it's all part of the same fucking system, I swear. It's all bots doing this shit, and they're garbage at their jobs. It's so dumb. The internet dystopia is real. But yeah, we'll see how long it takes before this all goes down, and then my days on here are over, I suppose. But, you know. I guess I'll at least be fairly active on Twitter. I don't link it anywhere, but you could probably find me fairly easily. I have a profile picture. It's a mix of my profile picture here and an Olimar from Pikmin 4. So he has like the Mario cap with an avocado on it, which was a joke from my Twitch days as well. That I decided just to keep around just because, because it was just kind of funny. Trying to shiny hunting Pokemon, and then at one point, I guess everyone gets bored and starts spamming avocado emojis, and I get all riled up about it because it's annoying. And then I just lean into the bit so hard because I'm like, I can't stop them. And I guess it is just kind of absurd and funny and ooh, shiny. So I've kind of made it part of my, like, not really brand. Because again, this is just a hobby. I'm doing this for fun. But, like, still. Still. Well. Ain't the world just fun? You know, with everything that's happened in this decade so far, in the 2020s, like, people often just kind of forget that it's 2025 already. And anytime someone has that kind of bit where it's like, oh god, it's been like 5 years since the turn of the decade? No, it's 2021 still. No. Every time I see something like that, I'm just like, the last few years don't count. The last few years don't count. And my god, I wish they didn't. And that shiny was kind of a buzzer beater, too. You know. Yeah, everything's going to like a downward spiral, it feels like. going full implement. Downward spiral, downward spiral, downward spiral. I think Implement like either privated or unlisted it, but I remember back in the day he made a video complaining about like parking in his lockers for school, and it was the funniest thing because it just got worse and worse over the years, and he just got so fed up. It was so relatable, dude. That's just kind of how life feels. Bashful Sassy, I did not do nature guesses either. I am a mess today. I am a mess today. I'm sorry. I wouldn't have been right anyway, because I would have probably guessed bold and timid again. Pokemon fan knows only like 3 natures. Whoops. I'll get it right eventually, and I have. You think after like 50-something guesses I would get it, and lo and behold, I have. I think I did last time I streamed this, so like, it's nothing new. I've done it. I can guess things. Not well enough to make a bingo on a direct bingo card, and definitely off to a very bad start in the mega department, but hey, you never know. Imagine if Oh god. I have this the title right now is like very clickbaity, like, oh, is this the end? Is this where where it's all just finished and there's no more me? Is this the end? But imagine if I get the 3 segment today and it actually straight up is the end. We don't do any more of the Dudunsparce stuff. Oh my god, imagine. Like, I just call it. I just will it into being. Oh god, that'd be so funny. It'd be so funny, but oh my god, that'd be miserable. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. No, not Pokeportal. I am a mess today. One more up, please, for the picnic. Thank you. We have fun here, despite the fact that the world's trying to say we shouldn't. Well, I'm gonna try to keep a level head throughout most of this. I don't know how long it'll last, but the last Eevee pick, last smiling Eevee pick. I've had at least one of these for a while because I think there's one point I think where like an NPC just gives you a bunch of them. I don't remember like when that was, but I got like 20 of them. I don't think I bought these in particular, because there's 2 different versions of an Eevee pick. There's one where it's like the typical default smile, and then one where it's really happy, which is the one I'm using right now. And I think you are able to buy both of them in-game, but I think this one here that I'm using right now, you just can get them at some point, I think in the DLC. And because I haven't done much with sandwiches, I just haven't been using them. And if I do anything with sandwiches off stream, which is like never, I don't use the Eevee picks, I use like the basic pick. Because like, it's not like the pick does anything. You can get by with the basic sandwich pick and it works fine. If the picks had some sort of extra effect, like it gave like a 4th effect, or it buffed the points for different effects or whatnot, maybe it'd be more worth it. Or like maybe it affects, whoa, freeze. Or maybe like it affects the friendship of your Pokemon more or something. Like maybe it'd be worth it to get some of the actual detailed ones that cost like 2,000 Pokedollars. But like, why would I bother? They don't do anything. I just think they look kind of neat, I guess. But now that I use all the Eevee ones, I'm probably not going to get any more because I don't really need to. I mean, it's not like Pokedollars are hard to get. You just like do a few Terra raids and then sell the treasure, but like, still, it just kind of feels like a waste. I say as I bought 1,000 of almost every ingredient. At least that is an actual ingredient purpose. So whatever. Whatever. Ain't the world just fun? Ain't Pokemon fun? Aren't there just wonderful things that don't make you just Anyway. So I've been a little on edge because of the whole thing with AI, and that's finally caught up with me, I guess. Oh my god, I got a Wild 2 segment. It has been months, I think, since this happened. Right? It's been months. At the very least, in the last, like, 5 streams of this, I remember, I think this is, like, the, 1, maybe 2 total we've gotten. It's mostly been unevolved, which is good, because you can only get 2 segments in the wild. So, like, if you see less of these, that's good. But it also means my shiny luck is oddly high already. Because we've just started Sandwich 2, and I'm on my 3rd shiny. That's not how it usually goes. Usually I'm lucky to get... Sometimes there are sandwiches where I don't get a shiny. And I think my record for shinies on 1 sandwich is... I want to say 4? And I think that may have only happened once. I don't quite remember. I know I get 2 or 3... I get 2 fairly common. I get 3 every now and again. I feel like I've gotten 4 in 1 sandwich before. I don't know if you'd remember Vix. You've been to most of the Dudunsparce streams at this point, right? Because I've done, I think this would be number 12? This would be number 12, and I'm actually looking at the fact that I'm on stream 12 of this. That means on average, in around 2 hours, 3 or 4 sandwiches total, I get 5 shinies. Which I guess isn't horrible with the boosted odds, but... You know, I've seen better. And I say it's every time. I don't know how people can go entire days just doing stuff like this on end. Especially soft reset hunts. I did that for Squirtle in Fire Red back in my Twitch days. I'm not proud of those streams. But, I did that. And, of course, since I don't have any way of recording any GBA games like that. Especially because of the fact that I'm on NSO, and I kind of get why. Of course, you know where I had to go with that. But I did soft reset, and I did do it basically legit outside of that. And it took, like, I want to say around, I don't want to say 4,000 attempts. I don't want to say it was 4,000. It was a lot. It was one of the longer ones, I think, for the Squirtle. So I was doing a thing where, like, on every route, I get a shiny before I have to move on. And I think I stopped, like, right after Brock's gym, because it was just going and taking forever. And I got bored of the whole thing. You weren't here for the beginning of those? To be honest, I don't remember when I started this. So I don't think I did this on my own time. I think all the time I've done this has been on stream. I don't think there's been any off stream. And of course it's not a consistent thing because even just doing 2 of these in a row can burn me out. Especially when, like, 2 in 1 week and it's back-to-backs, like 1 Thursday, 1 Friday, and I have, like, nothing to talk about on the Friday one. And it just burns me out. It's like that whole thing. So despite the fact that this is the 12th stream of this, like, I feel like we've been doing Dudunsparce stuff for maybe... It's been at least a year and a half, I think. Hasn't it? Because I think around the time... Like, I think I had done a few streams of this, and then I did the big stream where I was wonder trading out all of the shiny iron bundles for Christmas. Like a late Christmas thing, because I think it was like a New Year's stream, I think, that year. So, I think... When was that? Was that... That wasn't last year, was it? No. Was it? That had to have been the year before. So this has probably gone on for at least a year and a half, very on and off. Because this is mainly meant to be filler between other things. Like last time I did this was between the 2 Oracle games. I was playing the Oracle games and I finished Ages. I didn't want to go straight into Seasons. Because, you know, I figured that'd be just too much of similar kind of Zelda. So I did a stream of this. And I think that was the stream I got the shiny Glamora, wasn't it? I think I got a shiny Glamora during that stream. And that was the last one before this one. Because after that I did all of Seasons with a direct mixed in there, and now I'm here after completing Seasons. And the last ones before that, I think I was just trying to figure out what to stream. And I think I was just kind of trying to stall, and I think I did like 2 weeks straight of this, and I was just so tired of it. So I wanted to get more progress in on this, because I had not done that much in terms of shiny hunting for this. Even after all this time, I have not reached, like, the 1 in 100 thing. It's like, I don't know. But yeah, I've been doing this very on and off for quite some time. And, needless to say, when this is done, like, I'm definitely not doing the Tandem Mouse thing on stream. Because if you think this is bad, I'd have to squint the entire time for Tandem Mouse because there's, like, no signification about it being shiny. It's so dang small. Here's hoping that in ZA, shinies have that little jingle when they spawn in, like in Arceus. Because if I want to do shiny hunting in that game, oh god, I hope to god it's from that. How the hell did you spawn? Weird. Because, like, I understand like, Glimmin and Glamora spawning down the watery bit down there because it's outside of Dudunsparce's spawn range. Is that little corner there also just outside the spawn range? And I've never encountered that until now? What? That is weird. I've never seen a wild Glimmet during a sandwich like this. Especially not in that spot, because I feel like I've seen Dunsparce back there before. That's weird. That's very weird. I don't like that at all. Huh? Okay. It's fine, it's fine. Pokemon Violet being a weird... Not really unstable, because I haven't had a crash in this game in a long time. Like, I've had the game crash before, but... I want to say the last time I've had the game crash was back when I was actively trying to complete the Pokedex for the base game. And I think I've had it crash twice for my whole time playing. I don't remember the exact circumstances with the first. But the second... I was trying to catch, I want to say a Greavard or a Houndstone. One of those. It was definitely one of the ghost dogs of this gen. And I throw the Pokeball, try to catch it, and as it goes into the ball, the game crashes. And that was like... That was definitely before I streamed any of this, because I started streaming this, I think... with I think Decidueye, with hunting for shiny relic via eggs. Because I think the Teal Mask DLC was after that. But I played the full game before I streamed any of it. So... Imagine you finally get that 3-star when the game crashes. Oh god, that'd be miserable. Well, now that you say that, I'm gonna make sure to save before I do the evolutions just to be safe, because once you catch the thing, it's set. I guess, actually I think it's when it spawns in, it's set to whether or not it'll be the 3 segment or not. It's like... Yeah. And if it crashes before I get a chance to evolve it, I just won't know. And funnily enough, I think those will be my first actual failed shinies. Because I think I've caught every single shiny I've ever encountered, even in Pokemon Go. Like, yeah, I've had coughing self-destruct, but that was in this game, so I could save, and then it would self-destruct, and then I would reload, and it would be there again, because... It works like it does in Gen 8. Where it saves like the actual spawned Pokemon in your general vicinity too. Which is actually really nice. It's really nice. I don't tell you can do that, but like, people found out about that in Gen 8, tried it in Gen 9, it works. So like... Just little quality of life things like that, you know? But long story short, like, either it'll be a 3-segment and I can just reload the game and I can evolve it and it's fine, or I just don't have it and I'll just never know and I'll just assume it's the 99% that I didn't get it. Because the odds are not in my favor. I do find it kind of funny, though, that they brought Dudunsparce into Pokemon Go. And of course, the typical use 50 candy to evolve thing. You know, typical Pokemon Go stuff. And they still kept the 1 in 100 for the triple segment. The 3 segment's still a 1 in 100. Which is so funny to me, because I think when they brought in Tandem Mouse and Mousehold, I think the family of 3 was... I don't think it was 1 in 20. I don't think it was 1 in 100 either. I think they definitely raised the odds and go for that one. But they didn't for Dudunsparce, it seems like. And that is funny. That is really funny. Like, I guess in my own time, I can try for the 3 segment in general. In Pokemon Go. And yes, I do have a couple shinies, and no, I do not have a 3 segment shiny. And that's funny too, because I'm doing this thing in Pokemon Go where I keep at least one of every Pokemon I catch, including costumes and obviously shinies. So I have a shiny living dex going on. And I've had an extra shiny Dunsparce for at least a solid year because I knew this was coming. So I plan ahead. I don't plan that much ahead because I was not expecting the odds to still be 1 in 100, and let's face it, I do not catch literally everything that spawns. So, you know, it's a bit... So anyway. About halfway through the second sandwich. Yeah, I definitely don't do this very often. I probably am going to keep it pretty infrequent, just for the sake of preventing burnout. Now, the thing is, with a 1% chance of something, on top of the 1 in, like 1,000 something for the shiny itself, with all the boosts, like, it's still kind of absurd with how lucky I have to be in order to get the 3 segment. It's like, I remember when Shiny Catherine did this, it took her 200. 200! And I'm hoping this doesn't take 200 to do this as well, because I do not have the box storage to have all of that in mind. I don't. I had to sit down one of these days and just clear out my boxes of all this random crap. Just be like, I have this Pokemon in Pokemon Go, so I still have it technically in the Living National Dex. I don't need it here. And if it's something I can catch normally in here, that's even better, because I can just catch it again if need be. It's like a normal Sunkern. Bye. It'll keep stuff with marks and funny nicknames and whatnot, but like, I'll have to just sit down and do like a massive clear out of everything else. So I gotta sit down for like an hour and clear out space, because like, I'm about filled up on a second box of 2-segment shiny Dunsparces. So I don't have a third box open, I don't think. So before the next time I do this, I do need to clear at least 1 box. Or at least sort everything better, so that way I don't have to necessarily release anything quite yet. Just like defragment my Pokemon boxes. Remember when defragmenting your hard drive was a thing? Remember? It's like that was back when hard drives were actually like disc-based little. They're kind of like records. Remember records? Vinyl. But back in those days, they just kind of wrote data where it was just possible to put in, and it would sometimes load things slow because different pieces of the thing you're trying to load are spread out across the hard drive. So you'd have to defragment it in order to have everything be able to just put together, you know? So no splits were happening. It would theoretically speed things up a bit. But now we live in the age where it's all flash stuff. So we don't have to do that anymore. which is pretty convenient. Either it auto does it or it just handles it fairly well. Isn't that same kind of thing the reason why you can break Ocarina of Time so badly? Ooh, shiny. Number 60. Don't fight it! Oh god, no! What are you doing? But, like Ocarina of Time, like, it puts stuff into RAM, and then you manipulate the game by doing various things, like clear out specific things, and then cause an overflow from trying to fit in leftover stuff, and also it kind of just tries to fill in wherever possible, so it kind of fragments, I think, and you can make the game go into, like, a right memory state that allows you to fully reprogram the game, I guess. So you get those crazy tasks, like people somehow, like, finding the Triforce in Ocarina of Time and making like, new models based off the Breath of the Wild stuff, and it's like, what the hell? How do people find out about this stuff? It's like, what? Like, back when games had, like, cheat codes, you had to type in, like, a crazy password by pressing a bunch of random buttons on the main menu, like, yeah, some of those have gone to be mysteries for years, but then, like, you decompile the game or pay attention to a hex editor, and there you go, you can find that out eventually, right? Was something like that, where you, like, cause a memory overflow and make the game rewrite itself in RAM, it's just so weird. Like, that's how people can get to the credits in Mario World without being a stage. Like, 0 exit, I think. Or maybe it's 1 exit. But it's not very long, it's like 2 minutes. Just a bunch of random crap with Yoshi. And like, a similar thing from there. I remember years ago, someone made a task where they used that same principle to effectively remake Flappy Bird in Mario World. And, like, the bird was replaced with Mario's head, obviously. Otherwise, it works exactly like Flappy Bird. I'm just like, how do people do that? How do people find out how to do things like that? It's like, I understand, like, modifying the code itself so it just does that naturally. I get it. ROM hacks exist for a reason. But, like, rerunning the memory on the fly just to do all this stuff. Like, there's a Mario 1 task thing, I think, where it causes some weird memory garbage. I think we're trying to load Mario 3 first or something. And then there's a bunch of random inputs that goes through the game, and as it reaches the end of the game, as Mario touches the axe, it then just completely changes into Bad Apple. And then after Bad Apple is done, it swaps right back to Mario, and you finish the game like nothing happened. It's like, what? How do people do this? We have some tech wizards playing games, I swear. I don't even know how to mod, like, modern games. Like, I can't even do model swaps or anything. And then you see people going and just doing all this crazy stuff, you know? Like, let's manipulate the memory to turn this one game into a completely different game. Let's change so much about this game that it effectively becomes a whole separate game. Like, not even like memory stuff, just like, here's a mod that turns Sonic Generations into Sonic Unleashed almost perfectly. HUD, end of level graphics, everything. Like, what? How? Again, these people are just... These people are wizards, I swear. But I tried modding Pikmin 2 once, and I couldn't even mod a model of a Pikmin to load right. Ooh, shiny. Like, I tried it, and even though I left the eyes alone when I did it, it caused like this weird, like... Not like slit, but like... It's like the texture didn't properly attach itself to the model anymore, so it was like this black void on the edges of the eye for some reason. And the shading just completely broke on it, and I never fixed it. I'm just glad I was able to change the color of the onions and make it look good. But I couldn't do anything else with it, unfortunately. 3D games are hard. They're hard to really do that sort of thing for, you know? Modding 2D games is so much easier, especially when it's like a retro game where it's all assembly and you can mess around the hex editors and disassemblies exist and all that, so like, eh. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people do it. People are crazy. Oh god, there's already a mod out there for Sonic Racing Crossworlds. It's so funny to me. Because there's the Werehog pre-order bonus, right? And obviously I don't have it because I didn't pre-order the game. And I'm never going to be able to have it because they're never going to reissue it. Unless they pull a Casino Night and Sonic Generations thing where they just give it out for free eventually and piss off all the Xbox players. And that was before they included it as part of the port, by the way. I have the game on Steam, and I didn't pre-order the game, and I didn't have it at first. And then the game randomly updated one day and just gave me it, and I'm like, okay, cool. They might do that with the Werehog, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they did, because the Werehog, yeah, it's a new character, I guess. It has a new cart, special emotes and everything. And even some, like, audio differences, too. Like, when you win a race as him, it plays the Sonic Unleashed level clear. So if you play the Windmill Isle track, it plays the entire theme. And that's cool. But the Werehog himself has no voice lines. At all. He's silent. Nothing at all. They didn't reuse clips from Sonic Unleashed, though it would have been funny to hear that scream. I cannot do it justice here without actively ruining my throat and my sinuses even more. I don't know how Jason Griffith, how the hell did you do that? It's legendary, don't get me wrong, but my god. It's hilarious, but also so good. It's so good. But they didn't include any of that stuff, so like, not even so much as like a howl when he wins. It's just nothing. It's dead silent. And I get it for like the Sonic Prime characters because you'd have to get in the voice actors for the show, which are different from the game voice actors because the show is made in Canada, and Canada makes it that way if you make a show you have to have Canadian voice actors, I think. I think that's how that works. So like Knuckles the Dread and 9 are all silent. They're silent and everything. That makes sense because you're hiring like proper actors and everything. That takes a lot of the budget. SpongeBob and Patrick, I think they're silent, I think. That makes sense. You have to get Tom Kenny in for SpongeBob, and that may not be easy, especially because while this is in development, I'm willing to bet that Tom Kenny was not only busy with SpongeBob proper, but also the SpongeBob games that are also somehow still coming out. Jesus Christ! So, like, he was probably too busy to do that, even for SpongeBob. So I get it in those cases. But you own the Werehog. You have voice lines of the Werehog. Is it a thing where, like, you'd have to pay Jason Griffith royalties or something? Because I know Sega's really bad at that, given what's happened with Crush 40. That whole thing. I think the whole case got dismissed because of time. I don't think there was a response fast enough. They just dropped the whole thing. They just settled. It was just over. Which is so freaking weird to me. I hope to God we don't have an issue like the Michael Jackson tracks in Sonic 3. Where they have to get replaced with worse versions of the PC tracks. Which were supposed to be the tracks for the Final Genesis game because they're in the beta. And they sound, even though they're unfinished and have some weird audio issues, they sound so much better in the beta than they do in Origins. Just clean those up, put them in, you're done. It sounds so good. Some of those tracks in Sonic 3 in the beta are just better than the Sonic 3 official release ones. Like, Carnival Night Zone has better music in the beta than it does in the final game. Don't get me wrong. Afro Circus is funny and all. But I don't know. I really vibe with Act 1 of the beta. But they butchered it so much in Origins, it sounds like shit, and the sound font's all wrong, and the Supersonic theme they made for it, it sounds like Sonic 4. It has the Sonic 1 and 2 drums, even though it's Sonic 3, and it bugs me! Back to the Werehog. It's like, okay, maybe I had to pay royalties for the friggin' thing. Like, okay, maybe you can't use the original voice lines from Unleashed. You have Roger Craig Smith doing voice lines for Sonic. For consistency's sake, have him take a crack at the Werehog. Because the Werehog is Sonic. So, like, even if it's not the same voice as it was on Unleashed, at least having Sonic's voice actor do it would make sense. We could have our complaints on whether or not it's better or worse than Unleashed, but at least it'd still be audio for him. It'd be worth a shot, right? Come on. Come on. They're cowards. Sega and Sonic Team are cowards. Let Roger be the Werehog. I can excuse it for some of the other characters because they have bigger actors and everything, but you have a voice actor for Sonic. And you have the voice lines for the Werehog already. Come on. But the whole point, and the whole reason I brought it up, putting you away right now, first up. The whole reason I brought that up was because someone made a mod. I should leave on that. I'm gonna guess you are Quirky. Brave Mark. There I go. Someone made a mod that brings in the Werehog lines, not just from Jason Griffith's version, but also the Japanese version, and you can swap them out. It's cool. So it's not hard to put the voice lines in, apparently, because you can do that immediately. Which makes me wonder why Sega didn't even try to do that. As for our two other Dudunsparce friends here, I'm going to guess careful and timid. Calm and naive. Both with marks. But the rare mark and another sleepy time mark. I gotta put the move on it. Okay. Gotta put it on you as well. And the question is, do I want to do one more sandwich or should I go for two? Because one will put me near end time. And then we can discuss what we do next time. Or we can do another full sandwich after that. I think we just, I think we leave it at 3, honestly, because I gotta figure out what I'm going to... I gotta figure out what I want to do next week, because I still have, like, 2 weeks of stream to fill in, because of next week, then I'm gone for vacation, and when I come back, it's going to be 2 more. And that's when ZA comes out. I'm going to be getting it over the weekend that week, so I gotta do something to fill in the space. So what can I do for 4 streams so that I can finish it before I get ZA? That's the question. 2 seconds, okay. I think it is for the best, though, that just to be safe, I only do 1 more sandwich. Because, look at this box. 1 more space in it. I have 1 full box here. This would be... Hang on. This is 30. I kept 1... 2 segment. Is this number correct? Let's see. Search. I'm checking this real quick. Do I have the right numbers here? So I know I haven't transferred any or anything. Dudunsparce. I can't check for shiny because this is not Pokemon Home. Let's go trade there. So 30, 59. No, here's another one. No, get back in there. Search. Is this number correct? There's 60. This is one I got for my birthday, so that's a birthday mark one. Okay, it is correct. So I have 2 shiny ones. This is the one I wanted to... I think this is the one I planned on keeping before. And I probably still will, I nicknamed it. And then there is the one with the birthday mark, because I streamed this on my birthday. Okay. So the number is correct. I'm just out of it. Okay. So 1 more sandwich tonight, and then we can figure out what we're doing next time. So I gotta figure out what can comfortably fit within 4 streams. I can leave room for 1 stream, I guess. Because I'm going to do 1 more stream of this as like a final send-off before ZA. And by that time, it'd be out, so it's not really a send-off per se. I'd be back to this eventually. Next. And do the same combo as before. Now we have the fiery pick. I think this is a similar scenario to the EV thing, where you just get these at some point during the DLC. And I don't think I bought these. I think an NPC gave me these, so, you know. Now we're on to Magmortar, and then I'll just go about the basic picks after that when we get down to the wire on that. That's still 19 more sandwiches away. That's gonna be at least another 1.5 years. I joke, but you never know. Anyway. I kind of lopsided it, so it's kind of all awkward looking, so I gotta be a bit more careful with stacking the ingredients here. So I don't have much real estate. There we go. So, I am wondering one thing. And before we talk about that, I just remembered something that I saw on my Twitter feed today. It's also kind of fun. Do you remember when they revealed Mega Halucha and they had this whole big wrestling thing for, like, its little intro animation? Where it's going up against a Machamp. Well, apparently, they did that for real! They're like a Pokemon-themed wrestling thing! Either last night or today. And they had the different fighters dressed up as Pokemon. Like, there was indeed a Halucha versus Machamp battle, and the Halucha guy won! It's like, that is so cool! I think there's a female a wrestler as well who dressed up like a Togepi? So, like, they had so much fun with that, I could tell. I'm not a wrestling guy. Oh, I have no idea who these people are. But the fact that, because of Mega Halucha, though I wish it was a little bit closer to the reveal of it, because of the Mega Halucha reveal, they decided to make their own version of it real. That is cool. That is really cool. And they brought out, like, little Pokemon plushes and everything, and it was so funny. It was so funny. And I saw it on Twitter today, and I'm just like, oh my god, dude. The marketing they're doing for ZA is so good, dude. It is so good. I still think having DLC announced before the game comes out is also incredibly stupid. But I will admit the marketing they've been doing for the game has been top tier. But, speaking of which, they've been doing this thing where I think every couple of weeks they show off a new Mega. They do a little teaser for it, and then the following week we actually see what the Mega looks like. I don't think they've done that since the Direct, because they unveiled Mega Dragon, I think, for the Pokemon Presents. I think. Then after that, we were getting, like, the bi-weekly thing. And that's how we got Halucha, that's how we got Malamar, and that's how we got Victreeville, right? And then soon after Malamar and that whole thing was done, for the Nintendo Direct, they just casually dropped that the Gen 6 starters are finally getting the Mega forms they deserve. Still bugs they did not have Megas in the game that introduced Mega Pokemon. What the hell? And then they just casually announced Mega Raichu X and Y for, again, DLC, which sucks ass. But whatever. And then since then, like, people have been speculating what different Mega Stones are from the Mega Dimension DLC, because there's a whole bunch of different Mega Stones that aren't from the earlier games. So people are making theories as to what it could possibly be. And I like some of the picks that people are choosing. Like, I saw someone on there think that one of them might be, shit, what's the... Is it Clauncher? It's the no, Clawitzer, that's the evolved one. Clawitzer. It's the lobster crab that has like the big claw for a water cannon. I saw one there where someone was predicting that would get a Mega. And I forget whether or not I put that on my bingo card, but I think I may have been considering it. And that'd be cool. So with that DLC, we're probably going to get like 40 new Megas across the entirety of ZA, which is kind of crazy. A lot of which won't even be in that leak that happened that I have not been spoiled on anything except for, I think, one. Not monster. But what are you going to do? Vix, you were still there. I don't know if you were here either time I showed off the Mega card. Because I showed it off at the end of, I want to say one of these streams. I don't think you were here for that one. And then I also showed it off during the Nintendo Direct stream. And nothing changed about it there. Nothing got marked off during that. If you're still here, because you were not here for that, Khalil showed up and he lurked. It was nice to see him again, because the schedule finally... That's the thing about the morning streams. I'm not a morning guy. But I woke up in the morning with that Direct. Back when I streamed around noon, back during that time, during Sonic Frontiers, that's when Khalil showed up a lot. Time zones have kind of forbid that from happening, except for one random time doing Pikmin 2 challenge mode. It was nice to see him again for the Direct, even if it was just for the beginning bit and then he lurked. It's nice to see some old folks come back. Good old friends, you know? The continuity of the AGG lore continues. I'm taking it way too seriously, but like, it was nice to see him again. But unfortunately, Vix, you weren't here either time I showed off the bingo card, I don't think. So I don't think I've gotten your opinion on how I did with the new Megas I put in there. Because back when I had like 12 of my predictions, you said there were... I got 3.5, I think. And then after that point, I put those in the bingo card and added another like 12 or 13. Another 12 because I left the free space. So I could kind of fill in the space there. And I don't think I've had you look over... I don't think you've had a chance to look over it and tell me if I've done a better job. I think I did post in the community tab, but I don't remember if you left a comment on that or not. Because that was like right before the direct, so that's been a bit. And I'll admit, with the AI stuff that Google has been doing recently, I've been cutting down a lot. Like, I've been mainly, I've been cutting down on YouTube stuff a lot because that whole thing. Not like it mattered, but not like it mattered in the long run, it seems. But I don't remember if you commented or not. I don't know if I saw it, so I may have to look again. But if you're still here at the end of the stream, I can show the bingo card again. And it's just based off of the leaks. You're not giving any specific info. And you told me that Pokemon that had Gigantamaxes don't get Megas. And then Mega Raichu happened, and that was kind of a weird one for me, because either that means that the DLC stuff was not in the leak, or that means that we weren't counting Pikachu versus Raichu. Because Pikachu has a Gigantamax, but Raichu doesn't. And that's where it gets to be a bit weird. So I wasn't even considering Raichu as an option because of that. So I don't know how much the DLC is affecting it. So, you know. But in terms of, like, the Pokemon we currently know are going to be in the base game, I don't know how many I got right. So if you're still here at the end of the stream, I will for the bingo card again. Just so I can get, like, a little concrete answer. Like, is there hope that I can get a bingo? Don't answer whether or not I did get a bingo. Just tell me if I got enough to where I could reasonably believe I did get one. It's different. I need at least 4 to get a bingo. So if I got at least 4 right, that means there's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance. And who knows, if the DLC stuff wasn't leaked, then there could be more that we're not accounting for that I have my bingo card. And I could just get a bingo from the DLC, and we would just be none the wiser. So many secrets. So many secrets to behold involving Pokemon. So yeah. Sandwich. Man, 20 minutes left. See, when you're running out of stuff to talk about, that's when it starts to drag. You wonder why I don't do this too often. Especially not on Fridays. I needed to do something to close out the week because I had no real plan of what to start for next time. Because we finished the Oracle game, there's nothing left. And I looked up what the secrets did, and the secrets don't seem to really do anything of worth. So it wasn't really worth going over that. But it was just kind of cool. I was hoping there would be a secret that would let you, like, mix the items together. Like, I understand that a lot of them probably wouldn't have uses in the other game. Like, I don't think there's anything in Ages that would work with the magnetic gloves. But there's so much room on that item select that there'd probably be room for everything, right? And there's plenty of overlap as is, because like the boomerang, the default Rock's Feather, the default Power Bracelet, the different swords, they're in both games, so there's already some overlap to begin with, you know? But, I guess because the games were designed to be fully different, with different puzzles and dungeons and all that, I guess it's safe to say that it would make sense they didn't do that. But honestly, it would be kind of funny if, if the hero mode did this, honestly, where the hero secret let you have everything from the other game when you start a new file on the current game. And then you might end up sequence breaking stuff and going out of order in that idea. I understand that's a lot of work, and they already had to cancel the third game in the supposed trilogy they were trying to make, so, you know, they probably did a lot more stuff anyway. Like, we already know from, like, interviews and stuff from back in the day that the third Oracle game, a lot of the ideas for that eventually ended up becoming Minish Cap. How much, we don't know for sure. I'm willing to bet at least the Gust Jar was meant to be in the Oracle of Secrets, or whatever the heck they want to call it. So, like, there you go. I mean, the Oracle games and Minish Cap were made by Capcom. Specifically, I believe their flagship division. The same team, I believe, was responsible for the GBA Kirby's. Like my beloved Amazing Mirror. My beloved Amazing Mirror, and my beloved Squeak Squad, my intro to the Kirby franchise. Well, in terms of me actually playing the games, I think my true intro to Kirby was when the Runaway Guys played Return to Dreamland. Or maybe the anime? I know I watched the anime a little bit before I got Squeak Squad from an old friend of mine. So, because when I saw the different anime bits like Dee Dee's Castle and the Monster Transporter, I remember being like, ooh, it's just like the show! So, like, I recognized it, definitely. So I definitely watched some episodes of Right Back At You before getting Squeak Squad. I don't remember for sure if I watched the Runaway Guys play Return to Dreamland first, because that was the first playthrough of theirs I watched. And I think the first video to come out on their channel after I discovered that playthrough, I want to say that was... I think that was the infamous Egg Engines episode. The one where they were stuck on the one level the entire time and they just could not get all of the gears. And everything just devolves. Damn, we didn't get the gear! The part where Emil talks about Union 3. Because I'm Water Kirby, this entire body of water is my hat. John is freaking out when Emil grabs the gear and be like, you don't deserve that! You didn't deserve that! The bit where they just start singing the Inspector Gadget theme because they just lost their minds at this point. I remember so much of that video because it was so funny. And I'd caught up with the entirety of the Return to Dreamland playthrough up to that point. So that was the first new one to come out. And that was back when they only uploaded once a week on, like, Saturdays. So it was a bigger event back then. It was so funny. Good times. Good times. I wonder if there'd be enough time for me to slot a Kirby thing in here then. That's the thing. There are some Kirby games I could play that could fit 3 or 4 streams. There is an option. I don't think I've ever fully played the original Dreamland, so that's a stream. I've played Adventure before, but I don't think I streamed it. That'll probably be able to be knocked out in 2. I'd still leave 2 at least. I'm not sure. I've already done Tilt and Tumble, and that's definitely longer than 4. I don't... Are Block Ball and Pinball Land on there yet? Because doing just a base game of either of those would probably be enough for a while. Especially because I'm not the greatest at pinball. And for some reason, now that I'm thinking of Kirby's Pinball, and I'm thinking about the 1 GBA Mario Pinball game. Mario Pinball Land or something like that. Which I always remember the Japanese version of the name first, because in Japan it's just known as Super Mario Ball. And they had this kind of crazy commercial for it that was like this weird rap thing. I remember seeing it online and just laughing hysterically. Like there's like a GIF out there of Mario beatboxing like a rap outfit. That's where that comes from, I think. So I'll always remember it as Super Mario Ball, even though it's like Mario Pinball Land internationally, because of the commercial in Japan being so out there. They did a lot of out there things in the early 2000s for Mario, didn't they? Because they did their own version of DDR. They did Pinball Land. They had Mario cameo in a basketball game, which was just weird to look at because the animations were not set for their models. Because like Mario and Peach, I think, had their Sunshine models, and they had to make a new one for Luigi to match. And it looks like something from Gary's mod. Like if you've played Gary's mod, there's like a mod for that out there where you could play with like Mario player models. And it uses like models from Mario Galaxy. And the animations are still the same as if you were playing as one of the default characters. So like Mario's arms and legs are like squished in and clipping into each other. It looks all like scrunched up, and it's funny. I want to say that basketball game kind of looks like that when you play as the Mario characters, because I think they still have the same basic like animations on their model skeletons. So they just look kind of awkward in a really funny way. And then there was Link and Soul Calibur, which that's still kind of weird to me too. So yeah, that's kind of funny. The GameCube era was just a strange time for Nintendo, and in a whole different way that we'd probably never see again. Like, if we were to ever get as close to that again, they would have to let Samus in Fortnite and Mario and Sonic Racing Crossworlds. But they're never gonna do that because console exclusivity and all that. They care way too much for that sort of thing. Which I get it. Having some exclusives means there's a reason to get your console over the others. But like, man, it would have been fun. It would have been real fun. Here's the real question. If Mario was added to Sonic Racing Crossworlds, would they let him have voice lines? Would he be dead silent the entire time? And if he did have voice lines, who would be voicing Mario? Would it be Martinet? Would it be Charles Martinet, or would it be, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, would it be Kevin Afghani? Afghani? I don't know how to pronounce his name. The new guy who started in Wonder for Mario. The guy who I keep like associating with like a Mickey Mouse voice. He's like, I'll give Kevin this. He is improving. Like I listened to the voice lines he does in My Mario, and it's definitely an improvement. But a lot of that Mickey voice still shines through. It still needs work. I think Martinet is still better. And with the Mario Galaxy HD ports coming out, they're keeping the Martinet lines in that, so even more of a direct comparison between the two. So, I don't want to say he's doing a bad job, but, you know, it's just hard to get used to new voice actors sometimes. You know? And I can get used to it, and I can accept it, and it can be good. Like, people always get into this whole big deal about who's the best Sonic voice, but, like, Ryan Drummond, Jason Griffith, and Roger Craig Smith all do their own takes on Sonic, and they all just feel right to me most of the time. It's more of a problem with direction in Sonic's case nowadays. Let's face it. But you have certain characters that have voice changes that just don't sound right, and I just have not gotten used to, you know? Because, like... Because Mickey Mouse's voice actor, back when I was growing up, passed away, so they had to get a new voice for Mickey. And they had two different ones going at once. Stuff for like Clubhouse and Roadster Race just had one who's still doing Mickey for those shows to this day, and he sounds kind of off to me. I don't know why. And then you have the one from the short series we put on Disney Channel. I forget his name, like Paul Rudley? Those shorts, and then like the Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse, I think they've called it now. And they have all the different seasonal specials. I think they have a whole separate guy doing it for those, and I think he does a better job. I can't get used to the other one, though. Like, for nostalgia's sake, because, like, everyone else was in the same boat. Because a lot of us grew up with the original Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. We all checked out Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Plus when it first came out. Oh god, I don't know what they did to it. Like, I wouldn't say it's necessarily bad, but it feels like a downgrade in the animation department, at least. I'm still not used to that Mickey voice, because they changed it partway through Clubhouse because of the untimely passing. And it's sad. Mario's in a similar boat. Another one that's also in a very similar boat, and a lot of people are in agreement on this one, and just aren't super aware of it because there's been very few things related to it lately. Kermit the Frog. They fired Steve Whitmire during, like they canceled the weird, like, Office-like Muppet show they were doing on ABC, and they canceled it because it was doing garbage, and people did not like how some of the characters were characterized, especially Kermit. And Steve Whitmire specifically was super upset about the whole thing, about how it's like ruining Jim's legacy or something, about how like Kermit would never treat Robin that way, and it was like, you could tell he had passion. There's a clear reason why Jim picked him to be the new Kermit. There's a clear reason. And then Disney fired him and replaced him with Matt Vogel, who, funnily enough, played Constantine in Most Wanted. And the whole thing with that movie there is that Constantine breaks out of a Russian gulag and impersonates Kermit. We now live in like a bad ending scenario where we have Constantine hosting everything, but it's still Kermit, I guess. And I'm sorry, Matt Vogel does a really awkward job as Kermit, and there have not been that many Muppet things since, and a lot of them have not done well because you have Muppets now, which is mostly like a repackaging of stuff from YouTube, and no one gave a shit. There was Muppets Take the O2 and Muppets Take the Hollywood Bowl, which were like live shows they did, but I think more people watched them on YouTube than actually went to those shows because it was just a limited thing. And even then, like, clearly not enough people watched it because there was also the Haunted Mansion special, which I thought was alright, but again, Kermit voice didn't sound too good. And then we come around to the time when they closed down Muppet Vision 3D and they do this big thing on Twitter being like, we're going to be doing the Rock and Roller Coaster revamp with the Muppets. And like Kermit just sounds so off, and the entire comment section is like, why did you have to take away Muppet Vision 3D? Rest in peace, Muppet Vision 3D. Or just complaining about how the Kermit voice does not sound like Kermit anymore. And I'm sorry, it really doesn't. Like, I don't think anyone could truly replace Jim Henson. In all honesty, I don't think anyone could really replace him. He was such a good performer. He did a fantastic Kermit in The Muppet Show. It was so good. But Whitmire, even if it was a different take, it still felt like Kermit. Very clear why Henson wanted him to take over. Did a very good job. And that's the current that most of us are used to because we grew up in a post-Henson world. It's like most of the Muppet stuff after that was Whitmire. And it was great. It's like we had Muppet Christmas Carol, we had Muppets Treasure Island, Muppets 2011. Like, they did a good job. And then it all went to shit. I don't know what happened after Most Wanted, but they just... Like, something happened after Most Wanted, and everything just took a nosedive in terms of quality. And then they got rid of Steve Whitmire, and it was a whole thing, and long story short, I can't get used to Matt Vogel being Kermit. Some characters just like that, where, like, the voice is just so iconic, it's so hard to replace them. And when they do get replaced, because, you know, if the character has to still be around, they kind of have to be replaced at some point. It's an inevitability of life. But, like, sometimes a character's voice is so iconic, you just can't, you know? Like, Garfield. Back during all the TV specials and Garfield and Friends. Oh, God, how do I forget his name? Oh, I forgot his name, but he does such a good job. He was the voice of that show. He was the voice of the TV special at the time. Why am I blanking on the name? You'd think I know the name because he does such a good job. But he passed. I almost had it. Where? Anyway, the voice is so iconic. And then he passed. And then I want to say Frank Welker's been taking over most of the time. With stuff like the Garfield show, and... And then we all mock the Chris Pratt one, because Chris Pratt's in literally everything. Because that was around the same time as he was doing Mario, and it was funny. Hollywood stars have to be put in these big productions for the movies. They can't just bring in the people already doing the voices for the TV shows and whatnot, because God forbid there's any consistency with that. You gotta have star power, this thing won't sell. Lorenzo Music, there we go, that's the name! It's like, what was his name? Not Leroy. Lorenzo! Yeah, that was it! I got it eventually. But, yeah. There's just a lot of times like that where a character has to have a replaced voice actor because maybe like the other voice actor retired, or like retired, or they passed away, and they have to replace it if they want to bring the character back, and they just can't. It just feels so off because the other performer is just too legendary. The bar is set so high, it's unfair. The bar is set so high, it's so unfair. And of course, there's the AI route, but that would be extremely disrespectful and everyone would hate it. Like, they're doing that with Stan Lee in one of the Disney parks, I think, and that's just like... What? Really? You're doing that? Come on. With Stan Lee? Come on, dude. What's wrong with you? It's so freaking gross. I hate it. I hate it so much. I will admit them doing the AI Darth Vader was funny, because AI Darth Vader in Fortnite, they just got him to say the wackiest shit. But it still was terrible, you know? Still felt super disrespectful. And also it's AI, so it's not even that good anyway. It still sounds just off regardless, because it's... A computer just has no soul. It just has no soul, so it can't even properly replicate its performances, even if it can replicate the voices. And it can barely even do that. It's not the same! We live in a dystopia and everything's going to shit. We can't enjoy the things we love anymore. I'm only half kidding. But yeah, the world has changed so much. And it's so frustrating. Entertainment is just not what it used to be, man, in all sorts. Everything is just wrong nowadays. And the sandwich is over. I'm double checking in case there's any shinies around here because I don't trust it. So I did at one point get a shiny Garganackle. This dude at one point right after a sandwich. And then there was the Glamora, so there's one more shiny this time. Luckily, just have to fill that last little bit of the box, and then I guess I could reasonably do one more sandwich and just fill in my party from there, but I'd rather not. I'd rather not. We're averaging a little over 5 shinies per stream, and I think it's a good enough pace. That pace will probably lower eventually if I get unlucky and if I do shorter streams, but first off, let's go ahead and check our Dudunsparce buddy here. I'm going to have a nature guess that it's bashful, brave, the complete opposite. Great. Go me. Remember moves, give it Hyper Drill. There we go. And then go in the bag. Give it a rare candy. Level it up once. Big moment. Are we done? Is this the end? Is this the end of the Dudunsparce? And the answer is the Dudunsparce continues eventually. It's probably going to be a while. But now's the point where we figure what I'm going to do next time, because I still have no clue. And I got to put this in the box, and before I do this next time, which will probably be within the next few weeks, I'll probably do, if whatever I choose next time goes on for only 3 instead of 4, I'll probably do one more Dudunsparce stream. But I'm not sure when that'll be. But either way, I'll still have to clear out some space for that. While we discuss what we're doing next, let's go ahead and warp somewhere where there's music. So it's not just dead silence the whole time, you know? Because dead silence is boring. It's hard enough starting a stream and then that sort of thing happens. Let's go ahead and, this spot was close by, and this area in particular, this is where I did the Wonder Trades for Iron Bundle. If you remember that from a couple years back. Is this very spot in the like amphitheater here. I remember there being something in here. Not as in like you can go in here, but like there's a thing you can select in there. It's like a hidden item or some special thing. I don't remember. I'll be here. I'll be the performer. Da 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 da. Hey! Watch me spin. Look at me spin. Look at me go! Where am I? Oh, here we go again! Other direction! I love how fast you can spin around like this. Just and the fact that it's tied into an evolution, too, with Alchemy is so funny. I think it's funnier in this game because when you spin around like this, you, like, stumble a bit because you're a bit dizzy. Like, whoa. I think when you did it in Gen 8, when they first introduced it, you did, like, a power pose at the end. You're, like finger pointing up, like, yeah! You're, like, a super epic pose. Such a contrast. Like, Gen 8, you're, like, this epic dude. It's so freaking cool. Gen 9... If that doesn't sum up how the games fucking feel, I won't say that Gen 8 was a masterpiece. That's coming from someone who hasn't played it, but Gen 8 was definitely no masterpiece. But Gen 9 feels like such a fumble after that. Like, the music is good, the general gameplay loop when it works is good, and the story is a major improvement, one of the best out there for Pokemon. Definitely within the top 3 or 4. Not number 1, but definitely up there. A lot better than Gen 8, because if what I hear about Gen 8 story is true, you're not even active in the story most of the time. What the hell? It's like, in Gen 8, like, you find one of the dogs, you can't catch it, you let it run, you're like, oh, what was that? That was weird. And then the rest of the events in the game for the main story, like, someone else, like the leader, like the gym leader or something, just do that on their own. Compare that with, like, Gen 5, where you're going up against the Getsis. I think that was Gen 5. Was that Gen 4 or 5? We're going out against the big bad, and all of the gym leaders are with you, and they're like, you beat all of us. You know you can handle yourself. Go beat the big bad. We'll take care of the grunts. The fucking contrast there is hilarious to me. Either way, let's see what we're gonna do next time. Let's check my list. So I did make a list. Like months ago. See what we could potentially stream. And that's how we came to the decision about the Oracle games. That was like 2 or 3 months ago, right? I still have on here the original Metro, which by now I know is a bit... but it might be worth trying. It doesn't have a map, so I'd have to chart it myself, which I'm not looking forward to. There's the Donkey Kong Country trilogy, which I put on here because Bonanza was new. But I don't think I'd be able to do all 3 in the whole thing. I probably wouldn't be 100% in the game in one go. There's the original Zelda, which I've played the first couple dungeons of. I guess I could do that. There's also Link's Awakening, which is very similar to the Oracle games. So I could do those, but we just did Zelda stuff. And I guess Zelda 1 would be quite a bit shorter, and I do know a bit more about how that one works, but I don't know. We have Mario Land 2 in here. And then there's Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, which I still haven't played yet. But, I don't think I should play it until I figure out what happened to my keyboard on this laptop, because I still never fixed that! Welp. It's still a problem. It's still a problem. Yeah. This thing's probably going to get replaced within a couple years anyway, and then everything's going to get a lot better for stream quality and video quality. I'll be able to record while streaming and be able to, like, use the raw footage for highlights and stuff, because, like, downloading it going to be good enough in that regard, because it's going to have YouTube compression. Bleh. It's like, I don't know. That was my main list. You know what? Let's go ahead and... Go right on. Let's go ahead and save again. Let's spend some time looking through our libraries. The power of Switch Online! Go! Game Boy NSO! I did hear about the update to the Game Boy Advance one, where if you hold a certain button combination, it plays the original BIOS. The that was cool. Let's see. Probably not gonna play Gradius. There's Kirby Star Stacker, which does have like a sort of story-esque mode. Not like Super Star Stacker, but definitely does have something. There's Game Boy Donkey Kong, which would be kind of like playing Mario vs. Donkey Kong again, and I was kind of about that experience. We've played some of Mario's Macross off-stream, but that could be more... That's more of a chill thing, though. That would probably be a replacement for Dudunsparce. Maybe. Never heard of Sword of Hope. Never heard of Survival Kids. Tetris doesn't matter. We have the Donkey Kong Country trilogy, so these don't matter, even though I think there's technically extra levels in these. Already played the Mega Man games. Not playing Alleyway, not playing baseball. Mario Land 1 would probably take 1 stream. Dr. Mario Dance 1. Mario Golf and Mario Tennis are better in other places. Never played a Castlevania before, but I think that'd be longer. Quest for Camelot's not great, but I think it's also kind of like Zelda. I did say I want to try this, but that was before Pokemon TCG Pocket, so I'm a bit more familiar with it now, so I'm not going to be totally lost. So that sort of a thing with it is not going to be there anymore. Probably not going to play Blaster Master. Already played Kirby Tilt and Tumble. I don't really need to do Burger Time. It's an arcade thing. Could play Dreamland 2 if I wanted to do a Kirby thing. Never played Alone in the Dark. This is a minigame collection. I don't know why they only put Gallery 3 on here. Never really heard of Gargoyles. I did mention we could play the original Dreamland, but I don't know how long that would take. Because the game's not that long. I could probably beat the base game normally in like an hour tops. Maybe the hard mode would make it more difficult, and therefore it would take longer, but it might still be able to crunch that into one stream. Metroid 2, I've watched the D-pad play, and it seems like an alright game. Definitely better than the first one. But, I don't know. Mario Land 2 we talked about. Tetris we have the NES one. Wario Land 3, I did mostly play this in my own time. I've gotten most of the way through it. I think I opened the thing to the end game, but tried to go back 100% and then just never finished it. I do that a lot. What else we got? SNES. That was an update. We're not going to worry about that right now. Just start the software. We'll update the thing and add the new game in there later. Whatever it is. I don't know what it is. Let's see. Super Metroid, Super Tennis. Mario, what don't we want to? Super Mario Kart apparently is awful. Original Star Fox. I could play Kirby's Dream Course, but would that take 4 streams, though? Dreamland 3, maybe. Super Procross would be another, like, more chill thing. There's Superstar Stacker, which is a proper story, but it's all in Japanese. I didn't translate it. Nothing there. All software because the NES one got buried. No update here yet. What do we have in the NES one? Mario 3 I think we've done. There's Zelda 1. Mario NES Open. Original Metroid. Wario's Woods. Tried playing Zelda 2 once. Got lost immediately. Did not like it. Mario 2 I don't really care for. Neither with Lost Levels, which is the original Mario 2. That is also just Kid Icarus I played through on my own time. It wasn't really great. Punch Out here is hard as balls with the Mike Tyson fight. The hell is Mystery Tower? I don't know what that is. NES Golf. Donkey Kong Jr. Math is on here for some reason. Snake Rattle and Roll. Here, that's good. The original Mother would take forever. It's an RPG. We already have Pokemon Legends ZA coming out soon, so that's out the window. I could try The Adventures of Lolo. That's a puzzle game, right? That could be a thing I do. I'm gonna put that on the list. I'm gonna put that on the list. Lolo. Try to autocorrect to Kiki, which is the name of my cat. So, I mean, that's right next to it on the keyboard, so I don't blame it. But you know, I'm on to you, iPhone. I'm on to you. Funny how I mentioned like, oh, I'm gonna go into a place where there's music because it would be boring with dead silence, and here I am in the lifeless game select menus for these different things, and it's like, okay. I think what I'm gonna do is before the next stream, assuming there is a next stream, thanks Google. Assuming there is a next stream, I will look up on how long to beat, which is not the best source for that sort of thing, but it'll give me a basic estimate. And we'll see if any are close to the 6 to 8 hour range, and then we can see from there. Because I'm fine if it goes for only 3 streams, because we can do Dudunsparce on the last one before Legend ZA comes out. And I think we'd be better off with that. Part of me wants to go play Zelda. Part of me wants to play Zelda because I do want to play the rest of mainline Zelda eventually. We just got through the Oracle games and they were kind of a bit much. They were a bit much, so I don't know, dude. Maybe we'll do Zelda 1, maybe we'll do Link's Awakening, but I feel like we've done enough Zelda for a while with the Oracle games. It was like 2 months nearly straight of Oracle. Outside of the Direct and I think 1 or 2 Dunsparce streams, it was just straight Oracle for 2 months. Which, like, alright. Alright then. Whatever. But, other than that, I have nothing. And we've passed 2 hours, so now's the point where I can think about this on my own time and don't have to worry about it anymore. So with that, I've been AGG. Will it be my final time live? Who knows? The internet is a scary place sometimes. But next time, assuming there is one, we'll see what happens. We might do Zelda, we might do Metroid, but odds are probably not. But, lots of noise coming from upstairs. That's my cue to leave. That's my cue to end the stream. So that's going to be it for tonight. So I'll see you guys next week for something. And fingers crossed I'm still here. Fingers crossed I'm still here when it happens. Because it's a strange place out there, man. But, yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.